The recent installment in David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy has stirred up a lot of questions. Fans are asking if this is the last movie in the franchise, and the reviews for the movie have also started pouring in. And while critics disagree on the specifics of its quality, most find this an underwhelming finale. Keep watching this video to find out all the details. First up, Halloween Ends is the end of Michael and Laurie's story. Halloween Ends is the last installment in the Halloween reboot trilogy, but isn't also the franchise's last film. John Carpenter released Halloween in 1978, a slasher movie that helped popularize the genre in the 1980s and introduced audiences to serial killer Michael Myers and final girl Laurie Strode. Halloween paved the way for a 13-film franchise, each with its own set of retcons that created alternate timelines. And in 2018, a rebooted timeline began with David Gordon Green's Halloween, a direct continuation of Carpenter's original film that ignores all subsequent films. Michael Myers escaped from Smith's Grove Psychiatric Hospital after 4 decades and returned to Haddonfield just in time for Halloween night 2018. He ran into Laurie Strode again after she'd been preparing for his return for decades, but Laurie's daughter Karen and granddaughter Allison had to fight with Michael as well. The sequel, Halloween Kills, picks up where the previous film left off and continues Michael's killing spree. But the third film, Halloween Ends, does things differently by jumping forward 4 years. Halloween Ends, as the title suggests, will mark the end of Laurie and Michael's story. Moving on is Halloween Ends, the last movie in the franchise. As previously stated, the Halloween franchise has multiple timelines that have taken different paths, and some of them no longer include Laurie because she died after the events of Halloween 2. David Gordon Green's trilogy arrived to introduce some order to the franchise by continuing the events of the original film and removing some of the most controversial elements of previous films, such as Laurie and Michael being siblings, Laurie faking her death, and Michael being a member of a cult. Laurie and Michael are not related in the reboot trilogy. She's been dealing with PTSD, trauma, and addiction since her first encounter with Michael. Also, she has a daughter and granddaughter and has been preparing for Michael's eventual return. Gordon Green's trilogy concludes with Halloween Ends, but likely this is not the last installment in the Halloween franchise. Following up, what the cast and crew have said about Halloween's future. The franchise's future after Halloween Ends is unknown, and the cast and crew have made contradictory statements about it. Jamie Lee Curtis has stated that Halloween Ends will most likely be her last performance as Laurie Strode, confirming that this film will conclude Laurie's story, but others believe that the franchise has more to offer after the last film. John Carpenter has mentioned that if Halloween ends well, there may be more Halloween films in the future because the movie industry is ruled by money. That being said, he's also stated that Gordon Green intends to end the franchise with this film. Producer Jason Blum confirmed that there are no plans for more movies after Halloween Ends because of their 3-picture deal, and he later confirmed that the rights will revert to Malik Akkad after Halloween Ends, making this Blumhouse's final Halloween film. Let's learn how the franchise can continue after Halloween Ends. If those in charge of the story and the characters decide to continue with more films, there are a couple of options. Reboots and prequels have become popular in the horror genre, and just like studios always find a way to expand some of their most successful franchises, the Halloween series could do the same. After Halloween, Michael Myers may undergo another reboot, or the franchise may opt for spin-offs that expand on the stories of some characters. This includes Michael himself, as many unanswered questions about his life exist. Coming up, critics have shared their thoughts on the new slasher movie. Critics have shared their thoughts on the new slasher sequel Halloween Ends, which was released on the 14th of October. David Gordon Green directed and co-wrote Halloween Ends, the third and final film in Blumhouse's new Halloween trilogy. The trilogy began in 2018 with Halloween, a project that ignored the continuity of every other sequel in the franchise since 1978's Halloween. Laurie, who now lives with her granddaughter, is forced to confront her past trauma when a brand new local teen is accused of killing a child he was babysitting. Naturally, during all this chaos, Myers will resurface and finally confront his longtime victim. Along with Curtis, Matichak, Courtney, and Castle reprising their roles, the film also stars Kyle Richards, who previously appeared in Kills, and we also have newcomer Rohan Campbell as Corey Cunningham, the young man at the center of the murderous accusations. While some critics find the film satisfying on its terms, most of them agree that it's a disappointing conclusion to an iconic franchise that spanned over 40 years. They're unsure if it's a step up from Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. Most people seem to think that 2018 screen effort is the best of the new trilogy, but they disagree on whether Kills or Ends is ultimately more satisfying. Up next are some reviews from different critics. According to Screen Rant's Ben Kendrick, the movie is a satisfactory conclusion to the H40 trilogy. In addition, the three films provide the most consistent Halloween sequel continuity of the franchise's 12 post-Halloween 1978 sequels. And as a result, even if Green gambled on an underwhelming central premise for Ends, a satisfying conclusion to Laurie's story from Halloween 1978 to 2022 was worth any flaws in Kills and Ends. Also, IGN's Tom Jorgensen said that Halloween Ends concludes the Myers-Strode rematch trilogy with an ambitious, if somewhat confusing, final chapter. Despite strong performances from Jamie Lee Curtis and franchise newcomer Rowan Campbell, David Gordon Green's overall exploration of evil and trauma expands. Even Yahoo Entertainment's William Babiani says that Halloween Ends does not work because, as the title suggests, Halloween isn't supposed to end. John Carpenter left the original with almost no closure, which felt more like a threat than a tease for a sequel. Michael Myers is still out there literally or metaphorically, and he's coming for you. If he isn't, the whole thing appears to be a waste of time. If evil can truly be defeated, and especially if it can be defeated in this manner, it must not have been all that powerful to begin with. Not to mention, is Halloween Ends better than Halloween Kills? At the time of writing, Rotten Tomatoes has given Halloween Ends a rotten score of 44% based on 43 reviews. As more reviews come in throughout the week, that score may change significantly. So far, it's not fallen as low as Halloween Kills, which received a low score of 39%. It will be some time before fans know whether critics thought Halloween Ends was superior to Kills, but it is sliced and the film appears to be too similar in quality to the previous entry to appease fans who didn't enjoy Myers' previous outing. But this does not appear to be affecting its box office potential, as the film is still on track to outperform Kills' opening weekend. And even so, if audiences share the critics' opinions, it could suffer a significant drop in a week or two. Let's talk about the fact that the next Halloween reboot only needs to bring back one character. By this point in the saga, it appears every supporting character introduced in the original Halloween has been explored or re-explored in the countless sequels. The next Halloween needs to break free from the past and place Michael in a new setting with a new set of victims and enemies. Halloween Night Dance, a 2000 graphic novel, proved that he still can be terrifying in a story with no other returning characters, so the next installment can embrace the simplicity that inspired the original work and gave Michael Myers a completely new start. Finally, an anthology series is the best franchise approach next. Following the release of Halloween Ends, an anthology series is the best approach for the Halloween franchise. A new direction or a series of trilogies similar to the current reboot starring Michael Myers could possibly be the way to go. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is the franchise's first and only anthology film, and it is the only film in the series that does not feature Michael Myers or follow any continuity surrounding his story. It instead followed Dr. Daniel Chalice's discovery of a sinister conspiracy involving the Silver Shamrock Company. The film was initially a box office flop, but it has since gained a cult following. Despite the Season of the Witch's initially mixed reception, the Halloween franchise should consider launching an anthology series. Season of the Witch's cult following demonstrates that there will be fans willing to accept the franchise going this way. This interest may extend to the franchise's producers such as John Carpenter and Ryan Freeman. The mixed reactions to Halloween Kills and previous sequels such as the Halloween Resurrection also show that if the franchise continues with Michael Myers, it risks becoming boring. Using an anthology format has the potential to keep the franchise fresh and relevant. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on Halloween Ends? Do you like it? Let us know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.